That are the Lazers. That will be an interesting confrontation if we see that this evening. As you look at the starters and the crowd here in Kansas City, they're ready to go. Comets 15-13 since Rick Benben has taken over, and certainly now, barring a total collapse, headed for the playoffs.
Exactly, Kevin. The thing the Comets have to be wary of is the fact that if they would happen to lose tonight, the game with Pittsburgh would loom oh so much larger Sunday, in particular if Pittsburgh win tonight. That's Tim Harris, the starting keeper for the Los Angeles Lazers. He's played in the last two games. Of course, Coach Peter Wall told me there's Manny Schwartz at the other end.
Manny's played about as well as anybody in the league has played. In fact, he has a rightful claim to the top spot. We saw the old master last night, Sloboljevsky, out in Las Vegas playing for St. Louis. There was a time when Manny was the backup goalkeeper for Slobo. At that time, most people felt he could start for anyone else. Once he got loose, he has proven that he indeed not only could start for anyone else, but could become one of the top, if not the top goalkeepers in the league. And that's what he's done here in Kansas City.
He really has, Kevin. And again, one of the keys to Manny's success is his composure in the goal and his ability to restart plays when his team gets possession in the back defending.
Harris making only his fifth start for Los Angeles. Here's Laurie Abraham very quickly. He scores! Well, he's been one of the big additions.
He really has, Kevin, and he's proved his worth just seconds into the game.
26 seconds in, Abrahams has his goal.
There's Lee Carnwall attempting to mark up on Laurie Abrahams. Somehow this ball eludes two defenders. Lee Carnwall and his teammate bounces directly to the left foot of Laurie Abrahams. He worked well. As soon as he got the ball, it was back to the goal, and then he collected the ball. It was just motioning around in the penalty area.
Koutsoukis picks up the assist, and the first foul is a pushing violation against Gino Schiraldi. Abrahams has scored 16 goals as a Comet now, 23 overall on the year, but it's only his 18th game with Kansas City, and here is another look at it.
Lee Carnwall and Hunter marking up, or at least attempting to mark up on number 16, Laurie Abrahams, the quickest goal in Kansas City this year in their history. This year.
Charlie Ficus now inside the Los Angeles red line. Back for Gino Schiraldi. One noted improvement also in the Comets' attack has been the movement of Tasso Koutsoukis to midfield. We saw him assist on the goal there, and that certainly has helped. This holding foul called against Tim Twellman.
I think one of the reasons that Koutsoukis has added so much more to this attack, Kevin, is the fact that he is indeed playing midfield, and he has the ball at his feet going forward. He has more time to distribute the ball, and I think he's better playing that role for the Comets.
Well, College now for the Lazers, who've lost 6 of their last 10. Comets are coming in hot. They've won 4 of 5 and 8 of their last 12.
There was a time, Kevin, as a matter of fact, the first year for the Los Angeles Lazers in this league, when they won only 8 games. There were 8-40. Well, you can dismiss those thoughts if you remind. They are a tremendously improved club, as is the overall talent around the league.
Kabak's pass down low for Mangione, taken away, and the Lazers come out of there with Ian. Harris now rolls it out to Mokalis, and Los Angeles will come back, stunned by that early goal by Laurie Abrahams. Here's Molano with Makowski on him. Now Petcher comes around and forces the off shot. Molano's going to try it again, sends it over for Garcia. Manny Schwartz out of his goal to break it up. And now Makowski back to guard the goal. And Ian could not get a shot.
That was a good job there by Manny Schwartz, Kevin, because he saw the danger developing. A lovely through ball laid off to Batana by Poli Garcia. He had to come out and protect that area, and he did so immediately.
The Comets with the lead, and now they'll have possession near midfield. 12:33 left in the first quarter. We'll be back with more right after this. The Comets on top. Rick Benben, one of the finer gentlemen in all of sports, as well as a very good first-year head coach here for the Comets.
asked him before the game started tonight, Kevin, well, how do you like assistant coaching as compared to head coaching, what you're doing now? He said, well, something I've always wanted to do, but the pressure's a little bit more.
Just a tad.
I am enjoying it.
Well, he doesn't hear from the wild ones after he loses when you're the assistant coach.
Right.
You hear from everybody when you're the head coach. Makowski with a great effort, and he whistles that right foot wide.
And that will occur all night long if he's given the time, the space to go forward. He will not hesitate.
You know, you talk so much about that left foot of Greg Makowski, but he showed what he can do with that right foot. That's just as lethal a weapon for him. He wanted to pass along his hello tonight to his family back in St. Louis watching.
He's very similar to Karl-Heinz Granitza, Kevin, in that if you over-defend on his left foot, he can always get a shot off with his right. Not nearly as accurate with his right, but he won't hesitate to shoot with either foot.
And it's still a very wicked weapon for him. Steve Petcher gets it over to Makowski. Now his pass intercepted, but Kutsukit gets it back. Ficus for Abrahams. He scored the first goal. And now he loses it, but Petcher controls it at midfield. It bounces over him, and here comes the race. Garcia moving in, and Johnny hit it wide. Vasquez gathers it in for Los Angeles. Cornwell with a low drive that Petcher blocks out of there.
That last run upfield by Poli Garcia was excellently executed out of the back, Kevin. Brought the ball down very nicely, and the only place he could have shot it, because Manny Schwartz did his role, coming forward to cut off the line, cut off the angle, he just hit it wide at that far post.
Mike Hunter now for Los Angeles. Vasquez crossing it over for Garcia. Petcher on him. Now Kutsukis comes over to help out. Somehow they got it to Savage, but Makowski knocks it away alertly. Charlie Ficus with a long pass, a three-line violation. He intended it for Kutsukis, and the Comets give it up in their own end.
You see a lot of teams do that, Kevin, at least attempt to send that last man long on the break. After they win the ball in the back, they showed some nice composure, just tried to break that man long at the last minute.
Beto will put it in play. And the Lazers, who trail with 11 minutes left in the quarter, move to press the attack. Zoran Savic off the boards. Petcher cuts the angle. Manny Schwartz kicks the ball out of there. Cacho with that low drive.
Again, good goaltending by Manny Schwartz, and then he met the shot. By that I mean, Kevin, he went toward the man, shooting the ball, and cut down his angle.
Angelo DiBernardo chasing it down in the corner. Gets it for Tabak. Benny Tabak with a drive off the glass. Twellman with a foul, but he and Tabak ran into each other. Tabak moving in, but Harris comes out to gather it in. Comets forcing the attack here in the early part of the first period.
And that was a nice play there by Angelo DiBernardo to win the ball, keep possession, draw two defenders, and then lay it off to the open man who made his run.
Matata has it checked away from him. Twellman and Tabak coming back now for Kansas City. Along with DiBernardo. Here's Tabak with a nice run for Tim Twellman. Back to DiBernardo. Just a tad behind him, and it hit him on the arm. Here's another look at Manny Schwartz, one of the league's finest.
Cacho coming forward, taking the shot at the near post, and Manny Schwartz doing his job, coming forward to meet the shooter, cutting off his angle at the near post.
Stuart Lee, the leading scorer for LA, hits the deck, but nobody touched him, and they'll continue to play on. Now Beto keeps it alive, and here's Morales for Los Angeles. He gets it back for Beto, inside for Lee, for Batata, they score! Oh. Well, you don't pass the ball any better than that.
Was that great stuff by the Los Angeles Lazers? We talk about it so often, Kevin, when you have a target man to whom he can play balls off. Here it is. Beto out of the back, showing up nicely as the target man. Stuart Lee lays it off to Batata, runs onto it with his left foot, hits it first time. A lovely equalizing goal for the Los Angeles Lazers.
And it comes with 9:40 left in the first period as we take a look at it again.
Stuart Lee comes to the man with the ball. Beto lays the ball off to his feet. On the return ball, Lee, showing up as the wall pass, laid it off to the feet of Batata. It doesn't come much better than that, Kevin.
Ficus has it knocked away, but Laurie Abrahams chases it down. Beto over in the corner, but Ficus on him. Beto comes out of there with it at the red line and gets it across to Stuart Lee. He played here in Kansas City before moving out to LA. Now Batata down in the corner. Gino Schiraldi will dog him defensively. Into the corner for Beto. A whistle and a pushing foul against Beto.
There's Charlie Ficus, who's been joined by one of his former Indiana teammates here at Kansas City, Angelo DiBernardo. We were just talking about that theme last night, Kevin, with Ray Kennedy playing for the St. Louis Steamers. So many players from Indiana University, now playing in the Major Indoor Soccer League.
Manny Schwartz waiting to the last minute and then rushed a little bit and booted it over into the Comets bench. Rick Benben, I'm sure, unhappy with that distribution.
Yeah, you'd like to see better balls out of the back, Kevin, especially when you have possession of the ball. You want to keep possession going forward, attempting to restart your attack.
One of the finest goalkeepers when he played, Rick Benben. Also a very good basketball player. Not many people may know that, but Rick was a two-sport star at a famous high school in St. Louis.
And then Rick went on to some college prowess at SIU Everettsville. So many players we talk about playing for Indiana, Kevin, but also for SIU Everettsville and St. Louis University on this very team.
I say famous high school, CBC in St. Louis, because I went there too.
Oh, is that why?
Well, it wasn't because you went there.
No.
Petcher has his shot blocked, and now DiBernardo chasing in is tripped.
Here's the play again. Petcher running onto the ball. It was played off the near post boards. Here's attempted shot blocked by Lee Carnwall. And then on the ensuing play, Petcher was fouled by Mike Hunter.
Here's Abrahams keeping it alive, and it went off his hand off the boards, and the handball called against Kansas City. Laurie Abrahams doesn't seem like he possesses all that great talent, but he gets the job done, and he's very effective at it.
Very much so, Kevin. And like so many other good strikers in the league, very good with his back to the goal. Capable of taking the punishment, and he knows his limitations. When you can't go forward with the ball, you simply knock it back to someone who's open.
One of those guys like Denny Vanager was when he played for St. Louis. Unfortunately for him, injuries cut short his career, but he was the same type of player, perhaps a bit bigger and stronger, but nonetheless very effective down low when he got the ball. If you look for a minute away from him, you could see it in the back of the net.
An indoor soccer team, the successful ones, Kevin, will almost always have a good target man that they can lay balls off to.
Here's Koutsoukis at midfield for the Comets. He gets the carom off the glass. Across for Abrahams, knocked out of there by Cornwell. And here comes Milano now, back for LA. On the wing for Garcia, back for Milano. Working on Makowski, gives it back to Ian. Manny Schwartz alertly seeing that bounce pass for Garcia, and he got out there to knock it off. Here's Milano, he scores! He was left unmarked. Although the Comet defensive players, Bill, stopped as though the ball had hit Milano in the arm, and it may well have.
They thought that Poli Garcia showing up as the target man, the ball had hit his arm, but evidently it didn't. The ball rebounds to Willie Milano, who hits it first time on the half volley and buries it in the back of the net for a 2-1 Laser lead.
Yeah, I meant Garcia, hitting Garcia in the arm, and Rick Benben certainly thinks it did. Everybody stopped, but the one thing you got to do is play the whistle. You can read his lips very clearly. It was a handball, and he thinks it was. 2-1 Los Angeles over the Comets with 7:21 left in the first period.
For your family dining pleasure and business luncheons, it's Jenny's Italian Restaurant at 5th and Cherry in Northeast Kansas City. Jenny's, the banquet home of the Kansas City Comets. If you are not currently a Comets season ticket holder but are interested in season tickets for the 1985-86 Comets season, please fill out a reply card and deposit it for the season ticket reply box at gates 1 or 2. Thank you. Comets fans nominally stand tonight on a limited supply of programs from this year's MISL All-Star Game, which was played last month.
Back live here in Kansas City. Let's take another look at that and see indeed if it did hit Garcia in the arm.
Here's how the play started, Kevin. Greg Ian passes the ball to near post boards. It rebounds again back to the foot of number 15, Greg Ian. Now he restarts the play and knocks it back. Here the ball is flighted to the target man, Poli Garcia, and it looks indeed like it did hit him in the upper part of the shoulder.
Well, everybody stopped, so that would indicate normally everybody's not fooled down there. You and I are fooled pretty easily, but 5 or 6 guys down there aren't. Doesn't take much to fool us.
Boy, it certainly doesn't. We have the beauty of the instant replay to see the play occurring, but it looked like it hit him in the upper part of the arm, so indeed it was a handball. That's what occurred. It happened so quickly on the original play. Difficult to see.
Nonetheless, the goal stands, and now the holding call goes against LA. 2-1 Los Angeles. Comets jumped off to the lead. They scored in the first 20 seconds, but the Lazers have countered twice. Not much Manny Schwartz could do about that either, because he thought it was a handball. The one thing to keep in mind there, Bill, though, is even as DiBernardo hands it right to Savage, and they don't get anything done with it. Now Garcia has it intercepted by Mangione. A 3-on-1, and the Lazers didn't even get a shot on goal.
They should have done more with that ball, clearly, as they had the numerical advantage attacking.
What I was about to say, though, is no matter how clear the ball hits the guy in the head, you play the whistle.
Play on until you hear that whistle.
Mangione now, as the Comets get a break and getting away unscathed on that 3-on-1. Vasquez takes it away. Now Schiraldi off the boards, and Mangione gathers it in. Cacho trying to send it upfield, and a dangerous play against the Laserback. I like these guys with just one name. Makes it easier for me.
And they're easier to pronounce. Beto, Cacho, Patata.
Well, easy
Beto.
for you, maybe. Is that Beto? Is that short for Beethoven?
I don't think so.
No?
He's in his grave decomposing.
Oh. Manny Schwartz bringing it out now. Manny doesn't come out as far as he once did, but he'll still come out of there if you give him some room.
Oh yeah, and more importantly, Kevin, when he sees this dangerous situation developing, he won't hesitate, and he does it so quick. He has very lightning fast reflexes.
Boitata for Mocalis on the right wing. Koutsukas on him, off the boards, they score! Beto scores by accident virtually, but it dribbled in.
Well, you said it, Kevin. Sometimes in indoor soccer you can score goals by almost just being there. By accident, if you will. Number 5, Beto, running out of the back, gets a third for the Los Angeles Lakers. Here's how the play starts again. Number 17, Gus Mocalis, sees no opportunity to go forward, so he uses the extra man, if you will. Rebounds the ball off the near post boards. Beto runs in behind that last defender. That's the third goal for the Lazers.
They've come quickly for Los Angeles. Beto with his 20th of the year now. And they have a 3-1 lead with 5.5 minutes left in the quarter. And the pushing foul against Charlie Ficus. It's been a strange series between these two this year. Each has one in the other's arena. That doesn't happen often in this league, does it?
Certainly doesn't, Kevin. And the Lazers winning here at Kemper Arena, an exciting shootout.
Opening night. That's not how you want to open the season if you're a coach.
But it might get some people back in the building.
That's for sure. They lost 4-2 in that shootout. It's difficult enough to go through an entire overtime period without either team scoring. That doesn't happen often. Wellman gives the ball away, but Tata racing it along. He went in too far, and Manny Schwartz was able to cut down the angle successfully.
You said it exactly right, Kevin. Batata going in too far, cut off his own angle.
And that's a 6th foul against Los Angeles, and will result in a 2-minute bench penalty. So that will send the Comets power play out there. Peter Wall looking on, 27% they've converted. Here's another look at Batata. He just went in too far, Bill. He should have shot the ball much earlier.
Either shoot the ball earlier, Kevin, or had one of his teammates showing up as we watched Lee Carnwall foul Glory Abraham. That was indeed the 6th foul. But when you're running too deep like that, too deep close to the goal mouth, it's difficult to shoot with any angle, with any degree of efficiency. One of your teammates has to show up and get away from his defender, make it easier for you to attack. Number 11, Poli Garcia, will serve the 6th foul. So the Lazers will be short-handed for the next 2 minutes.
Come on, guys!
This game has not gone anything but according to script. The Lazers usually start fast and tail off, and the Comets start slow and come on strong in the second half. Makowski, DiBernardo, Tabak, Ficus, and Abraham's out there for Kansas City to try to pull them to within a goal. Cornwell, Milano out there along with Ian, and Makowski with a drive that Harris is able to get down in front of, and Hunter, the 4th player for Los Angeles, out there watches it go over the boards.
Nonetheless, some nice work by the Comets to knock it around. Here's the end result of that last play. Laurie Abraham showing up nicely, lays it off to Makowski, a ball that he can hit first time. That's what you want to do. Move the ball around quickly, force the defenders to commit themselves, and then inevitably you'll find the open man.
Greg Makowski can really put that left foot to work on this power play. He had been in a little bit of a scoring slump, but he broke out of it last weekend with a goal and 2 assists, so that's always a good sign for Kansas City. Because when he's dangerous out of the back, you can't shut down the men out of the front because you've always got to watch that left foot when he comes inside the red line.
Exactly right, Kevin. I talked to so many coaches around the league, and they always fear Mikowski when he comes to play Kansas City.
Tabak has it blocked by Hunter. Comets thought there should have been another handball, and now the trip against Kansas City. And they'd probably have a pretty strong argument again.
And that will be the Comets' 6th foul of the period. That's that last play just moments ago. Ball's laid off to Benny Tabak. Looked to be a hand foul on number 3, Mike Hunter, but the referee whistle play on. And then on the next play, coming up from behind, the Angelo DiBernardo foul. So both teams will be shorthanded.
That will nullify the power play that the Comets had with 1:13 remaining in their power play. So in essence, they'll play one man short for the next 1:13, and then to round it out for 47 seconds, Los Angeles will have the power play. 4:19 left in the quarter. And that's a tough break for Kansas City. They thought there would have been a handball for a penalty kick, and they come out without their power play after the play is finished.
They were knocking the ball around nicely. The thing they have to guard against now, Kevin, when the Lazers have that extra time with the man advantage, they have the best overall man advantage unit in the league. They've really been playing well, and that can add so much to your attack.
And they'll be going against the stingiest power play unit in terms of giving up goals in the league in Kansas City. Charlie Ficus coming over to serve that bench penalty. Or Charlie Carey, I should say. Rick Benben talking it over with Gino Schiraldi. Steve Petcher in your picture. Billy Gazonis, the assistant coach of the Comets, played here very effectively for many years. Mercado losing it to DiBernardo at midfield.
Hey, push up, guys, come on.
That's the thing you want to do when you're playing short-handed, or at least even in a short confined space, Kevin. Keep possession of the ball. Just hold on to it.
Hunter for Los Angeles. They'd like to kill 50 seconds and then get a man advantage. They've already got a 3-1 lead. Harris trying to get it to midfield. Hunter gets around DiBernardo as they both battle for it, and DiBernardo did a good job to get back into that play. Here's Cacho overlapping on the left wing. 25 seconds remaining in the Los Angeles penalty. Here's Batata now down in the corner. Working against Tim Twellman. He crosses it in front, but nobody was there. Just 7 seconds now in the penalty. Garcia will be coming back out, and LA will show off that power play unit that they've had all year long, keeping them in the hunt. And here is Garcia back on, and now they call a timeout because with 42 seconds left in the power play for them, they'll want to set something up.
Very strategic timeout by the head coach of the Los Angeles Lazers, Peter Wall. He simply wants to create a play now. There's one of Peter's assistants looking on, helping him out this evening. But what they want to do is get control of the ball now and have at least one decent opportunity on goal.
Stuart Lee in the background. There's Rick Benben on the other hand. The top 2 power play units. This is going to be interesting. Strength against strength here.
And what we'll give. The idea that the Comets want to do is keep possession of the ball, defend, and when you're short-handed, don't take any foolish chances in the back trying to attack unless you have 100% opportunity to go forward. Otherwise, a talented club like the Los Angeles Lazers will burn you almost instantaneously. The Lazers want to simply knock the ball around as quickly as possible, find the open man. There's always an open man. If you let the ball do the work, you'll find him. Let's see what transpires. Should be interesting here. There's Peter Wall. First game over to North America, played with the St. Louis Stars in the North American Soccer League.
Comets' magic number coming in tonight is 5 for clinching a playoff spot. Any combination of wins and losses between them and Pittsburgh, adding up to 5. Of Comet wins, I should say, and Pittsburgh losses, not any combination. Manny Schwartz tested by Garcia very quickly. The league's best penalty-killing unit, Fredrickson, Schiraldi, Petcher, and Twellman. The good thing for them is they only had 42 seconds to knock off, and now it's down to 18. And then the teams will be back at full strength. Beto moving in. He takes a drive. That's Steve Petcher. Back kicks into the corner. Another follow, but Tim Twellman boots it out of there. Milano back for Nathan Sachs as Charlie Carey is on, and both teams are at full strength now. Here's Garcia chesting it down. Charlie Carey dogging him. Stuart Lee in the corner.
Lazers very proficient at keeping possession of the ball, Kevin, as you're seeing on this attack upfield. If they don't have anything positive going forward, or if they can't lay the ball off the player's feet, they'll just knock it back and keep possession of it.
And that's exactly what they're doing with 1:40 left in the half. Hunter down in the corner for Garcia. Nearly intercepted by Schiraldi, and now Charlie Carey comes away with it. He gets it to Twoman. For Fredrickson, and he had a tough ball to handle there. And now Gino Schiraldi brings it out of his own zone. A long pass for Carey. He's knocked down from behind by Cornwall, but they play on. Knocked down again. This time the tripping call is made. Here's another look.
Clearly a tripping foul on number 9, Lee Cornwall, as Charlie Carey takes him on one-on-one. Oh, however, I can see why Lee Cornwall was complaining. He motioned that he played the ball first, but afterwards he tripped Carey when he was going forward.
Clive Griffiths out there for the first time, lets it fly, but Hunter blocks that. And he gets his own rebound, trying to lead Garcia, hit him in the back. 1:10 remaining in the quarter. Gino Schiraldi clearing it downfield. 3-1, the Lazers lead it.
1 minute left in the period.
13 fouls in this first quarter. Whew. LA will be content to knock it around again. 2-goal lead for them on the road. That's pretty heavy.
Very much so. At halftime, Kevin, the Cleveland Force leading the Pittsburgh Spirit by a score of 2-1.
Cleveland trying to cement themselves into that third place spot in the Eastern Division. Here's Batata losing it. Charlie Carey with Cornwell on him. He knocks him down. He gets back up. Comets lose control out in front. Bandoff thought Makowski was on his right, but he had moved to his left. Here comes Stuart Lee. Lee around Griffiths is knocked down, and the trip goes against Kansas City.
No question about that. Foul is number 4, Ray Makowski. You'll see it here. Fouls Stuart Lee as he's going forward. That is clearly a tripping foul, along with the assorted other things.
The shot blocked by Carey. Mangione gets it out of there. 12 seconds left in the quarter. Bandoff giving chase, and Hunter gets there first.
Comets would have been in business if Charlie Carey was chasing that ball out of the back. He could really fly.
Nick Mangione as he heads closer to the Comet bench with just 6 seconds remaining, but he's going to stay on. 3-1 the Lazers. Comets got on the board first. After just 23 seconds, Laurie Abraham scored. Headed out of there by Mangione with 2 seconds remaining. There's a long shot that Griffiths blocked, and that kills the first quarter, with the Lazers out in front of the Comets 3-1. We'll be back with more after this. Give me a
Comets fans, please check the Metropolitan Life Insurance ad on page 2 of your copy of tonight's Misl magazine. The ad has a Comets Lucky logo sticker on it. You and everyone in your section wins a Metropolitan Life Comets souvenir cup. Please show your ad at the usher nearest your section for validation. Metropolitan Life and the Comets are winning the combination. Again, that's page 2. Look for the Comets Lucky logo sticker on the Metropolitan Life Insurance ad. Be sure to hold on to your ticket stubs for tonight's game and through Sunday. It will be good for a special offer at Luther's Barbecue. If you present tonight's Comet ticket stub and buy one dinner, you'll receive a second dinner for half price. Remember to stop by Luther's Barbecue next to Bannister Mall through Sunday for this special offer.
Here it comes. Diet Coke with 100% NutraSweet wraps. For a taste that's truly one of a kind.
Lazers jumping into a 3-1 first quarter lead here in Kansas City. Be sure to be with Sports Time Saturday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Your chance to call things in on Sports Time the way you see them on Viewpoint Live. All it takes is your toll-free telephone call. Then at 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, the MISL season of excitement continues with the Lazers here in action again, this time against the Wichita Wings. Live from the Kansas Coliseum.